Okay guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish up the soup video, doing a regular one. The shorts are driving me nuts. Okay, so you chop up your peppers and have a discard bowl ready. And of course a bowl to store your peppers in while you're waiting for your red sauce that I talked about being made with all of these herbs. You use fresh when you have it, otherwise try to use organic. I've noticed in the stores, especially lately, as a lot more people have caught on to some, natural herbs helping them with immunity and great cooking dishes so that you can just prep your food at home and know where it comes from. So when you can't, get what you can, obviously. Also grow what you can. Like I've started a new batch of the onions. I've talked about this before on my videos. At any rate, what you want to do is you want to chop those up. I'm doing them pretty fine. And yes, you can get some of the membrane or the skin because it's, got that nice roasted taste. But obviously you probably don't want too much of that in there. So I try to chop it fairly fine if I do get the skin in there, and so delicious. And it's not quite as what shall we say, hard as the hatch green chili skins when you roast them. I try to get a little bit of that in my dishes too, whether I'm making enchiladas or soups. But yeah, you want to get it a little fine. So what we're going to do is I let the juice seep out into this pan. At first, while these were cooling, I would take them, and try to pour them like I showed you guys into the stock pot. But this is easier if you just, once this pan has cooled, I still have a hot pad under it, but once they've cooled off enough to cut them, then I don't have to worry about them draining. And don't worry if you get some of the seeds into the stock pot. What I'll do is I'll drain this off right into the stock pot when I'm done. But that way I can, basically pour the juice out. And then I scoop out the seeds generally once I hit it. It's drier once it hits this so that I'm not making such a mess. I go ahead and use this spoon that I prepped. I always get these out first before I start cutting, obviously. Makes it a lot easier. But I can use this spoon to scoop out the seeds and put them into the discard bowl that I designated. And this great spoon also helps me once I've chopped these to go ahead and transport them over to this little bowl. Or you can do what is on the cool cooking channels and you cook all of your little pieces, leave them on your cutting board and go, carry them over to your stock pot. But for me, though I have done this before, I find it is just less chance of mess trying to look all cool getting that in there if I just put it into the bowl. And look at my cool bowl. I got these for Christmas one year. And I do like the solid stainless steel, but what is cool about these bowls, besides the awesome color, is they came with lids that match. So then you can quickly identify the lid if you're storing something in them to prep and use for later. And they don't move around if you have them on the counter and you're doing baking and such. So anyhow, once again, I don't get anything, not one thin dime from Amazon links. So I'm not telling you because I get anything. I'm just telling you so that you know. So there we go. I'm going to finish chopping these, and the only drawback is there's no way for me to pause this. So what I'll do is, though not a short, apparently I'm going to have to do another video. So to show you the final product of the soup and how I put it all together. But just to give you a heads up, I do cook my red sauces, whether I'm doing them for manicotti, rigatoni, spaghetti, whatever have you. Sometimes I'll even do a certain chicken dish, maybe do something spicy, then I'll add other things in there. But it has to simmer. And you can see how low it is. As a matter of fact, even though I put it that low, it was getting carried away. You know how it does? And I still needed it to simmer. So I removed it off the burner for a short while and then put it back on with a lid, which helped, calm it down some. Plus then it's not making as much of a mess. But now it seems to be doing okay, because generally what happens is added 2 cans of this. I also use sometimes an organic paste or what I can get from Aldi's. Tomatoes are so good for you. So I use that with at least 3 cans each of water. So that's 2 cans of the paste, 3 cans each of water. And then I usually add in, if I have like some red wine, dry, I add in dry red wine. And this is going to cook down all the way. And then I will be adding this with some cream and some, you can either do just vegetable broth if you are strictly vegetarian, or if you like to get a little bit of bone broth in there, you can use some chicken bone broth. And let's see here, I got mine from Aldi's, and I don't have any affiliate links for them either, so I'm just telling you so that you know. Also going to be adding these, some kidney and black beans. Now, a great way to do this dish would be with your dried beans, especially, you know, if you are someone who stores up food and likes to practice doing that. You know, you'll run out of cans eventually, likely. So with your dried beans, which are of better value, it's just that you have to start them the day before. You want to give them a 24-hour soak, at the minimum a 12-hour soak, so that you don't have all of those gastrointestinal troubles from the dried beans. And then, of course, you would rinse them if you were doing dried. But for those of us who need to do it the day of, have your Aldi's varieties, and you could really use even a white bean, like I've done for my white bean chicken chili soup. But just use which beans you like or prefer. And then I'll be cooking this also from, actually this one is from Aldi's. Bronze cut pasta is what I prefer, and I like their rigatoni noodles too in this brand from Aldi's. And give yourself some fresh pepper. We need pepper. I've been out of peppercorns since yesterday. You can see how far diminished it is. So we need to get some at the store. And this is Himalayan salt. I got these recently for a family member for a gift. And what's awesome about them is they have lasted a long time after being charged. We, for years, have always used these sorts, which we're going to, I went back to this for this dish that I'm making because we're about out of pepper. But, you know, it's the old grind kind, which I've not minded, but everybody in our house uses so much pepper that I thought it would be fun to have these. So they actually work really well. I got them off of Amazon. You guys know I don't get anything for that, but watch. Look how quick, okay? And even though I'm going to be using the prized pepper, I'll show you very quickly. Okay, so there's hardly any left in there. So the next person that comes along is going to be like, great. So I have to go back to the old style and use up the very little bit that's in there. But anyhow, those are awesome because when you're cooking, it really does save you just that little amount of time, you know, otherwise you're standing there forever like I do when I grind. I do like to grind my rosemary and the fennel seed, which tastes so good in this pasta. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and upload this, and next time I get on here, it will be the final video where I just talk about how to complete in the stock pot with your sauce that has simmered for about, I want to say, you know, anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe even 4 hours if you have the time. This one I'm probably going to complete in another hour. So I'll be doing that and finishing chopping these. Talk to you guys later.